welcome to DKW, and today we're going to be talking about working the room. That's right, lady, what gets in the way of us achieving our goals? We're going to be discussing this together with author and entrepreneur Bev James, but first of all, find out what's coming up on the show. That's right, today we're going to be talking about working the room, and I'm not alone. I'm your host, Shireen. I'm together with the vivacious Verena.
Vivacious, I love it.
Hello, vivacious Verena. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
The marvellous Melissa.
Hi.
And she is quite marvellous and mighty, and the other M's. And of course, the delicate and the delightful Diane.
I was wondering where he's going.
It's all freestyle. So ladies, how important is networking on the capacity to be able to network to you?
Oh, well, for me, it's very important. Personally, for me, it's very important just because of what I do. It's important to be able to kind of, you know, get in touch with other people, communicate with other people, you know, and I think it can be important just in different aspects of life. For example, even in terms of your love life. It's
interesting one.
Yeah, to be able to kind of communicate with others, you know, talk to others, be approachable, approach others. I think that's really important for success.
Yeah, I think many doors can be opened when you're networking, you know, that you can
come across opportunities.
Yes, a lot of opportunities. I think networking is quite important, but not in every field. You know, not every field you need to network.
Well, actually about that, let me ask you, Verena. Are you the kind of work the room woman, or are you more the stay in the corner kind of lady?
I think I'm a little butterfly on the wheel, actually.
I would never believe that.
Seriously, I am. I'm quite shy. I really am. I like to voice my opinion, but I am really a shy person. I will be the person at the back of the room, sitting in a corner, just listening to everybody else.
And then you'll shout at the end when something
upsets you. And then I'll just give my opinion.
That's a Verena I know.
Love it. Okay. Well, this is what we think. How about you? Email us your opinions at comments@dkw.me. Now, ladies, you know this would not be DKW unless we're doing a red and green card game, so please get them to the ready. For those of you who don't know what this is, which I'll be very surprised, it's our DKW game where I ask these lovely ladies a series of questions, and they either say red, no, or green for yes, and then I ask them why they've given that answer. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, first question. Do you think that social networking improves your work? If you think yes, you should put up your green card. If you think no, go for red. Oh, Diane's went up green.
I think it's...
Don't give reasons. I just want to see the card first. Vivacious Verena, butterfly.
No.
No fencing here.
That's what I was thinking.
No Jennifer on the show. No fence, please. All right, so we've got 2 greens and we've got 1 red. So let's go for you first then, Vivacious Verena. Why have you put up your red card? Why did you say no?
I don't know why I said no.
Right, shall I say no then? That's what I can tell you.
Yeah, because that's why I wanted to ask initially. It depends to your definition of work.
Good question.
Social networking, this is.
Yeah.
So social networking. Okay, all right, so let me define it.
What is the work that it improves?
Social, with the work. Well, just give me examples for yourself. What springs to your mind?
Well, I think if it's done for social reasons, then no, I would say no. But if it's done for work reasons, then I'd say yes.
Okay, so it's a bit of a fence answer, but I'll accept that.
Reasons.
No problem.
As in, like, getting your work out there.
Getting your work out there, because for some businesses you've got to
really help.
It's crucial. You can actually increase your business, your clients through networking.
I think social as well, because like Mel was saying, you know, it can help in your love life. It can help you meet that Mr. Right, you know.
Well, it did help in my love life.
See, so you're meant to be, it's meant to be green for you.
So I think, are you changing that to green then? All right, then no problem.
But I also, on another, like, you know, seeing it from another point of view as well,
Yes.
I also do happen to think, and I'm sure many employers would not agree with this, but I actually do happen to think that it can improve your actual day-to-day work, like if you're in an office job, because when I think of myself, for example, I used to be in this really high-pressured office job, and it was just so full on, and I needed sometimes just that little break, 5 minutes to check my Facebook, look at what's going on, just get away from that work, and then I'd kind of refresh myself and get back into work mode. And I know some people do take it to the extreme, but it was a joy and a pleasure for me.
Well, that's actually quite nice to know, because I know a lot of employers are actually banning social networking during working hours, because they say it kind of decreases the productivity. So you're saying different. I don't know if there's any science behind it. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you as a manager, it actually decreases.
I think it's because people don't know how to be balanced, let's be honest.
Yes.
Because for me, I was conscious of that, and I took it as like my little treat thing. But most people don't. They just like Facebook, they live for it, and then it's like they don't want to do work.
Isn't it? It's like once you start that, once you press that button, you're in another world.
Definitely.
All right then. Well, we also asked our viewers what they think, and it was a 50-50 split. On one of our most prestigious fans actually said, which is Jean Attenborough, she commented, "I don't think social networks improve your work. I think they're a distraction." So kind of agreeing with what you're saying, Verena, but they're okay for some social networking, so agreeing with the two of you. All right, do you think that achievement is all about whom you know? Yes, green, and no, red card, please. Is it about who you know? Achievement is all about whom you know. So Di, you're saying no, Melissa, you're saying no. And what are you saying, Verena?
I don't know. I have to be on the fence.
You have to be, that's your last answer.
I wanted to be on the fence, but she said no fencing today.
I'm afraid of her, so that one I will leave.
Right, well, I've got arguments on both sides, so I mean, I don't mind saying green.
Okay, let's start with you then. Let's start with green from you, Melly.
Yeah, well, I'd say I would at first omit the word all from it and not say it's all about, but it is really about whom you know in a way, because if you want to achieve a certain thing, like in your career or something, for example, I'm going to look at it from a business perspective. I just can't expect to just go out there and, you know, just put something out there and then just think the whole world's going to love it, or you know, I have to do the research to get to know who's the buyer of this shop, for example, if I've got a product. And you've got to you've got to gain that knowledge. And once you know who's who, then it does become easier for you to put yourself out there, because you're approaching the right people. And sometimes that is why people don't achieve, because they're not researching, they're not trying to know who's who is the right person to go to. And they end up going to the little people who can't do anything about it, instead of getting to know, okay, who's the actual person who's the decision maker here. And so that's why I kind of think that achievement can really depend on who you know and who you allow yourself to come to know.
But it also depends on
interesting, Mel.
the career, the area of work you're in. You know, for example, on an earlier show I talked about the legal profession, where it's all about who you know. It's an old boys club. If you, for example, if you want to be a barrister in England, you've got to get in with the crowd, and it's all about who your parents were, who they are, you know. And so they can get you into getting a mini pupillage based on who your parents know or who they knew.
Yes.
So if you go into that profession not knowing anybody, like, for example, you're coming from a different background, it's really difficult for you to break through, because, you know, networking within that field will be extremely difficult for you.
Very nice.
As I said, I'm on the fence, because I agree with both of you, but if you don't actually want to achieve, you can be put in a position where you can actually grow. But because you don't want to achieve, you're not a high achiever, should I say, you'll stay there. But like Mel was saying, when you go to research, you want to achieve something. So it's a kind of 50-50 situation, isn't it? You want to achieve that, so you have to research that. There's some people who are in the positions where they can actually move forward and achieve certain goals, but they actually don't want to.
Oh, ladies, well, I like that discussion. I always like it when you've got a lot to say, but I'm going to have to put you on pause for a second because we'll go to the breaks. But first of all, have a look at this video.
I have two sons. Patrick's now 24 years old. He has Asperger's syndrome. And Angelo is 21. He has autism, epilepsy and a sensory processing condition. And both my boys were diagnosed quite early on. One particular morning, as we did every single morning, was that Patrick was having a tantrum. He was kicking, he was screaming, he was finding it really difficult getting hold of the steering wheel when I was trying to drive him to school. As I was getting him out the car, I'd get my son Angelo out, put him in the buggy, then he'd wrap his legs around the buggy, and we used to get all of these looks of pity from parents, which I used to hate. So we had a meeting, and one of the therapists that was coming along to the meeting couldn't come, so she sent a report. And I remember them reading out the report to everybody saying Patrick Kennedy was diagnosed in 1994 with Asperger's syndrome. And I remember, because Angelo had been diagnosed at the age of 3, just about 6 months before that, I just felt that I couldn't concentrate on the rest of the meeting. I felt like a big explosion had gone off in my head. I felt the blood rushing from my feet to my head. I was just thinking, I've got 2 sons with autism. What have I done wrong? And what I did was I started to go and visit lots of various different schools, so schools for children with autism, MLD schools, schools that had units attached. But at that specific time, which was in 1997, there was hardly any provision out there at all. So I became very frustrated. We started a support group. It grew to 275 families of children and adults with autism. Some of the parents of adults came along, and they were parents of adults that had had no support whatsoever during their children growing up. So they'd gone into crisis or been misdiagnosed. And we found out about a school that they were going to knock down and build 37 flats. So I went to the local authority, and to cut a long story short, basically what they did was they put us through the mill. But I'm glad in the end, because it was a big learning curve for us. But in the end, they agreed that they would lease the school to us for 30 years. But we had to put our names to £627,000 worth of refurbishment. So we started searching for people to help us, and I remember writing to the local Gazette and a lady called Barbara, and she's still my friend to today, and she put something in the newspaper and everyone started coming out the woodwork. So it was a 3-year development plan, but we did it in 18 months, but we opened the school in 9 months. And that was because of the desperation, really, of, you can imagine trying to have 2 boys at home, trying to open a school, having a big learning curve in absolutely everything, recruiting for staff, getting the right staff team together. So we opened the school, 19 children walked in the door, and I remember I just was fit to burst. My 2 sons were funded 2 weeks before we opened the school. We had to struggle to get the funding for the boys to go to the school. Since then, we celebrated our 15th year birthday, which was 2 weeks ago. We have 170 children that travel in from 17 different local authorities. We've also opened a residential home. And in 2009, we opened a charity called Anna Kennedy Online, because lots of parents were writing to me about the struggles that they were having, like I was having all those years ago in 1997, 1998. We do positive events like Autism's Got Talent, which is a fantastic event. And as I say, it was like probably the 3rd best thing I've ever done. So we put this show on and people were talking about it for weeks. It was a 650-seated theatre. We had some people that came along, didn't expect to be entertained. And I thought, they went away, they were wowed. So we're in our 4th year now. This year, every year, I never think that we're going to be able to top it because it's just such a good show, but we do.
Hello and welcome to Love Talk.
And basically it was just to meet the in-laws and get their trust. And
Well, Myself.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yes,
I'm actually happy for you.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me, right? That's how they say.
That's a good one.
Run away from temptation. Run. Then run another one.
This is so serious.
There is the right kind of honesty and the wrong kind of honesty.
Forgiving the person who betrayed you can be tough, and it can almost always leave a scar. The scar that remains from an abusive past can affect your future in so many ways. There are various forms of abuse, the seen and the unseen. We understand your pain because we have been through it ourselves. If you or someone you know is a victim of any form of abuse, help is available. Rehab. Removing all hurt and abuse. We won't pretend it never happened, but our aim is to help you heal the wounds of the past so that you can build a happy future. We'll listen, we'll advise, we'll be your shoulder to cry on. It's free, confidential, and we're just a phone call away. For more information, call 0207 686 6000 or visit our website uckg.org/rehab.
Welcome back, and in the studio we're very excited because we've got Bev James with us, who is a millionaire's mentor and the CEO of the Coaching Academy. So there's other things that you also do, which I hope you can tell us about, because there's just too many to mention.
There are quite a few, actually.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Bev.
So yes, I am the Managing Director of the Coaching Academy, and we're the largest coaching school. We train people to be life coaches, corporate coaches, NLP practitioners. I also just work with the government on a wonderful programme called Startup Loans, where people can get a low-cost loan and a mentor. So far we've started over 20,000 businesses, so that's done incredibly well.
Just a few.
It's very, very worthwhile and a really good project.
And where are you based?
I actually live in Bristol, but I also spend half my week in Chiswick in London. So I have a nice life where I go between the two, which is wonderful.
Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I just wanted to know, where did you start out? I mean, you're all these things now, and it's so wonderful to hear this, but how did it start for you?
Actually, I was just speaking to someone who was in the green room, and I actually left school at 16 with no qualifications. I rolled out of the school gates into the local factory. I did my best not to get the job when I was being interviewed. I tried to be absolutely terrible because I didn't want it, but they gave me the job anyway. And I stayed there for a number of years, and I had no qualifications.
Yes.
And I think sometimes when you don't know what you want to do, at least when you know what you don't want to do, it helps. Now, there's nothing wrong with working in a factory, and you know, I earned a good living when I was there, but it wasn't what I really wanted to do. And so over a period of time, I just decided, how can I just chart my course to have something different? So I've learned quite a lot along that journey. Doors weren't opened, you know, you have to open your own doors.
I like that, I like that. Okay, so you've mentored a lot of successful people, but would you say there's a type of person that's always going to have a successful career to you?
I do mentor some amazing people, from world-class retired Olympians that retire young and then they go on to set up their business, to people that run multi-million-pound companies, to young entrepreneurs that get a really great idea and they want to obviously take it to the next level. And there's a saying that success leaves clues, and it does. So my job as a mentor is to add value to them, obviously. But there's another little bonus for me, in when you mentor someone, you can't help but learn their secrets of success. And there are secrets, and they all do something very, very similar. So, for example, they are all very terribly focused, very determined, but they're also got some other traits like resilience. So they're able to bounce back from setbacks. And it's not that they don't get knocked down, but they don't stay down for very long. They're very positive people. And they're always upgrading, they're upgrading their skills. You know, they work on their personal development, their attitude. They're constantly evolving. They don't stay the same. But they're also very disciplined. And most people, when they're on a track to success, they'll go so far and then they'll come to a stage where they either can't do something, they don't want to do it, or maybe, oh, I don't have the money. They focus on all that I don't have. You know, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, I don't have the skills, whatever it is, and they stop. Well, these people don't stop. They find a way over it, around it, through it, and they just keep going. So there's lots of these traits that I've picked up along the way, and I sort of very often think, right, okay, how can I adopt and have more of that? Because you know, you could think, well, these people are born with that, and I do agree that some people are. Having said that, once you identify the traits you need to be successful, then you can work on developing those traits. So I believe that anyone can be successful, no matter where they start, no matter where they are. But you need to know, it's not just about what you want, how do you need to behave along the journey in order to get what you want.
I love that. I'm already sold. I mean, I really feel mentored already as you're speaking.
Oh, I know. I'm actually sitting there like listening, thinking, okay, do I have those qualities? Oh no, I'm not that. Oh yes, I am that. And you know, it's
we
really
all have it to some extent, don't we? It's just the level of it.
Nice.
Definitely.
Ladies, questions?
I wanted to ask you actually about networking, working the room. Do you think that actually works?
I think networking is good. I mean, there's lots of different types now, aren't there? You know, you've got your social networking, you've got your live networking events. And there's a saying that your network will ultimately determine your net worth. And I think that's partially true as well, because very often it is people that will introduce you to someone and to open doors. I think the mistake a lot of people make when they network, and I'm talking about actually both online and offline, is looking at it in terms of what they can get. And I always look at it as what I can give.
Oh, I like that.
So go into a networking event. If you start thinking, right, I'm going to go, I want some clients, or I want people to introduce me to someone. It's like meeting someone and then asking them to marry you. Well, you've not even been on a date yet, you know, it's just rude. So get to know people and find out what is it they do. Can you help them in any way? Can you introduce them to someone else? And be a connector, not a grabber. And just try and add value. You know, whatever you're doing, how can you add value? And if it's online, you know, if there are people that you'd really like to get to know, share their tweets. You know, repost something. If they've written a book, maybe you do a nice review. Give before you get is probably the biggest message I have for people.
I love
great
that.
advice.
You know, I think that's very attractive, because I think that's so niche. Because to be honest with you, who does go to a network event thinking that way? I think it's very, very rare to find that. And I think even that makes you more attractive, it makes you more credible, it makes you want to kind of, I want to know this person. She wants to give me a helping hand and I don't even know her.
Yeah, and people are then drawn to you, rather than next time you go think, whoa, there's that person you know, tried to sell to me last week, I'll avoid them. You know, you
this does take a bit of confidence, don't you think, Bev? And I just want to talk to you a bit about that. Like, you're a public speaker. Where do you get this confidence to speak in front of people?
I haven't always had that, and it was one of my goals when I started at the Coaching Academy, and I actually went along as a delegate before I became MD, 1,000 days later to be exact. And I remember sat there thinking, I really want to be a presenter, I really want to stand on stage. But the thought of that at the time, my stomach went to spin cycle 10.
Of course.
Full blast. My kneecaps would jump up and down, even if I was sat still. And I was terrified. And so when I became a coach, I started to work on my beliefs around public speaking. You know, I never in a million years would have even come on the show. You know, I would have thought of an excuse not to, because it would have been scary to me. So again, I think it's about developing those skills bit by bit. So if it's public speaking, start with smaller groups. You don't have to go straight on stage with, you know, 1,000 people. But I think if it's something that you really want to do, you'll find a way to do it. But very often you have to just keep shifting your comfort zone. Don't go into panic zone, which would be maybe public speaking fear to 1,000. But just shift it slightly, just stretch yourself a little bit, and your comfort zone just gradually expands and your world becomes bigger rather than shrinking and becoming smaller. So if you do get that little jitter before you go on stage, which I still get,
Yes.
I now don't see that as fear. I think it means I'm ready. And you can reframe it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know
lovely.
you're
Brilliant.
a best-selling author. What inspired you to write?
Well, school wasn't that easy for me, as I've said. I did leave without qualifications, although I never went back for them, so maybe I've got them somewhere. And so for me, writing a book was something really, really huge to want to do. And one thing that motivated me, because I worked with some amazing people.
Yes.
I remember running a seminar, and all the speakers had a book. And you know, one of them being James Caan, and it was, oh, here's my book's on the side. And I'm thinking, I want a book. And so I thought, but you know, I really want a book. I want to see my book in Waterstones on the shelf. And so that ended up, initially, if I'm honest, was my inspiration to have a book. But I wanted a book that would make a difference to people.
Yes.
That would shift some of the things so that they could actually achieve what they want. And so the first part of the book, although it's more of a business book, is about helping you to take the steps and expand your comfort zone. I wanted something that would help people remove the obstacle, which generally is ourselves,
Yes,
helping
yes.
yourself get out of the way. And so now the benefit for me is when people either send me an email or I read something, they say, I've read it and I've done this. But obviously there's that moment where you go into the shop and your book's there.
Yes.
And so I did a quick selfie, you know, with the book, sent it to my mum. So yeah, a big achievement. Can't say I found it easy, but I did it and I didn't
You've done
ditch
it,
it.
yeah,
So.
well done to that.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you decide if an idea is worth investing in?
Oh gosh, that is a big question. I think for some people, when they decide they want to start a business, might think of something that they already know. And I think that's the best bet. So if you're passionate about, say for example, well, maybe even being a coach.
Yes.
And you know you've perhaps got skills where people are listening, asking you for your comments, and you know that people are drawn to you.
Yes.
But sometimes people start a business because they're already in that business, maybe a hairdresser, and they think, why don't I do this for myself? So I think having experience always helps, because business is hard enough. So if when you start the business, you actually have no experience in it, you don't have time to learn it. So for me, again, I would like to start from the bottom up. I like to know the ins and outs. I like to know everything about the business. So I think, just to make that a bit more succinct, is to find something you're passionate about, that you've already got some knowledge and skills in, because that also makes it easier. And then it's how are you going to sell it? Because again, a lot of people think, well, you know, I'm a hairdresser, people used to walk in the door, I'll now have my own salon. How are you going to get people through the door?
Yes.
Whatever your product or service is, you also have to think, who will buy it? Who are my target market? But on my website, actually, there's lots of free resources. There's a business planning template, competitor analysis template. There's lots of things that are completely free, which could actually help people work through that process. Because as I said, it's a big question, but something that people need to consider, you know, carefully.
And what is your website? Can you please tell us?
It's bevjames.com, so it's my name. It's
Nice
really
and
simple.
simple.
Easy as pie, that is.
Easy as pie.
And if someone wanted to have a mentoring session with you, how would they go about it?
Oh gosh, I actually only work with a few people per year. So at the moment I don't have any vacancies at all on my mentoring. I only work with a small group of people, and I generally stick with them. But again, there's lots of things on my website that can help people through the journey. There's an iPhone app, which is free again.
Really?
So I'm constantly churning out articles and things that could help people along the way, even if they don't get me personally.
And what about your book? What's the name of your book?
My book is called Do It or Ditch It. And it's how to turn ideas into action and make decisions that count.
Fabulous. Well, Bev, you're staying with us. We're going to go for a quick break, but you're going to stay with us because you've got a competition.
I do have a competition.
We're excited. All right, stick with us because we're going to be talking more to Bev and also seeing what Jennifer Long got up to when she went to the London Film Festival. See you after this break.
You gotta love this, man.
Welcome to the world of Do It or Ditch It, where decision making is clear and anything is possible. My name's Bev James and I'm the author of the best-selling book, Do It or Ditch It. Whether you're thinking of starting a business or maybe already running a business, the Do It or Ditch It approach will help you to increase your chances of success and also to prevent the terminal drift where good ideas lose momentum. Do you ever struggle with managing your time? Do you wish you could get more done in a day? Or do you wish you could ditch procrastination and do the things that propel you forward to your success? Or are you one of those people that get an idea a minute and you're not quite sure which ones you should do and which ones you should ditch? I'm passionate about business and have a desire to help people succeed. I wrote the book to help you turn ideas into action and to make decisions that count. In life generally, we also need to make sure that we're confident and we're ready to take advantage of opportunities as they present themselves to us. And remember that opportunities are never lost. Someone else will always take the ones that you miss. On my website, bevjames.com, there are many free resources, including business plans, templates. I've also created an iPhone app, which is also completely free. While you're there, you might want to sign up for my Daily Do It's, where you get a daily dose of inspiration.
Welcome back from the break, and today we're talking about working the room, and joining us we've got Bev James, and she's got a competition for us. So Bev, what's all this competition about?
I do have a competition, and I've brought a couple of things with me actually.
Okay.
So you did mention just now about how do people get a mentoring session with me, and it's not possible, unfortunately, except for one lucky person. Wow. So what I would like to have as a competition prize is for somebody that's either thinking of starting a business, maybe they've got a current business, it might be just started, it might be successful, but you want someone to take you to the next level of success. Mm-hmm. So the competition would be, first of all, in less than 100 words, don't give me pages to read, less than 100 words, keep it succinct. The general idea, the overview of the business, if it's already a current business, the website, something I can look at, social media, and then why you think you should win the mentoring session. What difference would it make to you?
So all of that's got to be done in 100 words?
Maybe a little bit flexible, but you know, not reams, not pages and pages of A4.
Okay, cool.
Because I've done this once before and I had stacks and stacks. It was like reading a book, and I thought, next time put a word cap on that. And for the runners-up, now this can also be, because again, you know, it may not be that people are local, so this can be done on Skype. We can have a Skype mentoring session.
Oh, fab.
Or if somebody is happy to travel to London, then I'll take them for lunch and we'll do the mentoring session in somewhere lovely. And again, that will take as long as it takes. So, you know, if we're there for a few hours, that's fine. I've also got for the runners-up copies of the book.
Oh, lovely.
And also a handy little pad.
Oh, I love it. Are we not allowed to apply then?
And also the best part is a Do It or Ditch It dice.
Now tell us a bit about that, because I think Lindsay was telling us about that the other day.
I do. Now we use this for fun at our board meetings as well. So basically, this isn't about, you know, whether you should leave your husband or perhaps some of those decisions, or maybe it is, I don't know. But even if you use it for big decisions, the thinking around it really is if you roll the dice and it's a big decision, like changing your job, if it lands on do it, it's about how you feel. If you say to yourself, oh, can I roll it again? And you keep rolling it, well, maybe it's not what you want to do. So, you know, my disclaimer here is it's not about, this is telling you what to do.
Yes.
It's acknowledging how you feel about it. Now, if you're rolling the dice and you're out and you're thinking, you know, should I have red or white wine? Well, that's obviously not a life-changing decision. Fine. But it's just a bit of fun.
I like it. I like the thinking behind it. I really do. Because I thought you were going to say something like, if it says do it, so no matter what happens, just do it. Just get into your mind, set it in your mind that you've got to do it and just go for it. I thought that's what you were going to say.
No, I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Because that is different.
Yeah, because really and truly, when you really want to do something, sometimes you might feel that you're confused, and then you try to use a little something to help you decide. And when that answer comes back to you, you realise that, oh, but actually I don't want to do that. So then you realise that really and truly, you didn't want to make that decision. You wanted to probably make the other one. So I think that's a
and
good
it
way of
forces
doing
it because some people just
Yeah, it
don't make
forces it.
decisions.
Yes.
And they just procrastinate on the decision. So this is,
Indeed.
even if it's a coin, you don't have the dice, toss a coin. You know, you don't have the dice. Toss a coin and think, right, okay, this is I have to do it. And then if you do it, and then you say, can I do it again? Best of 3. You know, people say these kind of things, don't they? So, and I think it's acknowledging the feeling.
Yeah.
And so if it's fear, so say you roll the dice, you toss a coin, and you think, no, I can't do it, acknowledge, is it the fact that you shouldn't do it, or are you just a little bit scared? Is there something you could do, or someone that could help you just move that fear factor a little bit to make it more comfortable?
Has this been inspired by any personal events for you, this dice? Because I find it so, I just love it. It's
a good idea, isn't it?
different.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm coaching
it?
people, and if people are really resistant about something and they're giving me lots of excuses about why they shouldn't do it, and sometimes I just say, don't do it then.
Just don't do it.
And then they say, what do you mean don't do it? You know, I think your coach is and I said, don't do it. And they said, but I have to do it. I said, do you? Yeah, I do because. And then they tell me all the reasons that they should do it. So again, it's slightly similar, and it forces something, it shifts.
Oh, lovely. Well, this is a fantastic competition. I wish I could enter myself, actually. But if you'd like to enter this, the details of this competition will be on our website, dkw.me. That's dkw.me. And all the best and good luck. Now, Bev, another question I've got to ask you. You are mentoring people, you are public speaking, writing books. There's a lot of support that you're giving to people. I just want to know, where does this come from? Were you supported in life? Did anything happen to you that made you decide that, you know what, I am going to mentor people, I'm going to show them the way?
Gosh, that is a good question. I think for me, I have an amazing family. So incredibly supportive family, wonderful husband. I've got people that are my cheerleaders. And I think I'm very lucky to have that. And I know not everybody does.
Yeah.
And so I think as a mentor, as a coach, a lot of that is practical, but also just sometimes believing in people. And then you can just wake something up by showing someone that you believe in them and what they can achieve. So I think for me, yes, I have had that in my family and I've been very, very lucky. And part of me also wants to be part of someone else's journey. And very often my goal isn't my goal, it's whoever I'm mentoring, it's their goal. You know, when they achieve something amazing, then I'm on cloud 9.
Oh, that's just so beautiful. And again, very rare these days to find. I really love that. I think it's very, very inspiring. Any other questions, lady, for Bev?
Very given.
Yeah. I think it's great. I don't have any other questions.
I think what you do is amazing.
It is amazing.
It really is amazing.
Really, really is amazing. Thank you so much, Bev. So if anyone would like to contact Bev, feel free to go to our website, dkw.me, and your own website,
bevjames.com.
So would you also receive emails from people? Would you answer any emails at all?
Of course I will, yes.
Yeah, and what's your email address?
bev@bevjames.com.
Just change even
my mum can remember that.
bev@bevjames.com. Okay, now let's find out how Jennifer Long got on at the London Film Festival.
So here we are in sunny London at the London Film Festival.
I just think of myself as an actor and not necessarily a comedic actor. Those are the parts that I have been hired to do more often than not. But so, you know, I put my faith in Bennett. I figured if he thought that I was capable of doing it, then I was.
What made you decide on this movie?
Because it's such a damn good script, and they don't come along that often, and this one is really beautifully written.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, did you feel like before you were going to do it that you knew how you mentally prepared for it? Because I know physically.
Well, I'd read the book, and I knew it was going to be hard, but after the first week of filming, I called my husband, and I was like literally in tears, and I was like, this is so hard. And he said, you know, when you optioned a book called Wild, about a woman that hiked 2,000 miles, did you think it was going to be like easy? And I was like, okay, so I had to kind of think about how I was going to get through it, and basically every day I just thought about, you know, Cheryl, and like everything I was doing, she had already done, except she slept outside, and she bathed outside, she ate outside, so I actually got to go home at night, so I really couldn't complain.
People think it's not much, but not to wear makeup, I think, when you're an actress.
and to walk around physically, it was very punishing with, you know, carrying the pack. And I know that Jean-Marc, the director, made her do the things that Cheryl had to do on the trail. So when Reese is putting the tent up, that's Reese putting the tent up and getting frustrated and annoyed because she can't follow the instructions. She's not acting that, she really is kicking out in frustration.
How did you prepare for the role as Connor?
He's a really, you always want to say like it's very difficult, ultimate preparation. He's a guy who's not that dissimilar to myself. He's a bit posher and he's got a bit more money in his upbringing. He's got a university education, which I never had. But other than that, he's not that different. Characterisation-wise, it wasn't that hard. Also, the thing that defines him in this film is a huge parental loss. Do you know what I mean? And that's something that I can identify with pretty easily. So it wasn't really hard finding him or getting into character. It was just hard being in character. So every day was like torturing yourself as a parent.
What was it like working with James, and why did you pick him?
He's just somebody I wanted. I mean, he was who I wanted for this role from the beginning. I think he's A, so talented, B, I just think that I thought he embodied what this character was, and then, once you start to work with him, you feel like the luckiest person alive.
We all work hard, and Turner worked hard, and you see a man who devotes his life to a project, and he really does it. And it's very inspiring what he does. I also hope that people will go and look at Turner's paintings or revisit them, because they're all out there.
When you read and find out about Turner and spend time trying to match a human being to what the research throws up, you realise he would be, in a sense, the last person you would imagine him to have been. You could have thought he would be the guy that empties your bins, really, not the guy who has created some of the most beautiful works of art the world has ever seen.
Thank you for choosing London as your world premiere. We're really happy to have you.
This is a question I have to repeat, and it's not. I was the one who chose.
Sorry?
I was the one who chose.
Yeah.
Chose. Not. I didn't choose London.
Oh, they chose you.
No, they chose me. It's very lucky and it's a great honor.
And so the name Kung Fu Jungle it was the third choice, or it changed 3 times. It was Kung Fu Killer.
Yes. Last of the Best.
Last of the Best, and then finally Kung Fu Jungle.
We go to Last of the Best first, and then we have to. I think we're more straight to the theme of the movie. So we changed to Kung Fu Killer. But in a censorship in China, we don't use the word killer.
Oh, okay. The red carpet's been great. It's been a bit cold and raining up and down, but we're almost done. As you can see, the cars are waiting to pick up the cast. Over and out.
Very good evening to you. I'm Celso Jr. I'm here with you at Finding Answers.
I have confidence in myself now, and I know that I can do anything.
But there you learned that there was hope for you. Give us a call or send in your emails and we'll answer it live on the show. Whatever you are addicted to is stronger than you.
No matter what problem you're going through right now, I believe that where there is a will, there is a way.
If you're a single mother suffering from a troubled past, then don't lose hope. There's always someone you can turn to. We understand. With all the challenges of everyday life, the financial responsibility, and the pressure of being a single parent, life can be overwhelming at times. Single parents and their children can flourish, but without the right support, a family can fall apart. The Tamar Group is there for lone parents who need guidance, support and encouragement to get them through their everyday battles. Whether it's a group discussion, a mother and child bonding session or some personal advice, we are here for you. Everyone needs a helping hand at one point or another. Let us be yours. For more information on our meetings and where the nearest Tamar Group is to you, then visit our website uckg.org/Tamar or give us a call on 020 7686 6000.
Now, people normally think that there's no greater influence as powerful as Hollywood, but I beg to differ because Godlywood is really making its mark in the world. Now, for those of you that don't know, Godlywood is an initiative aiming to lead women of all ages to become exemplary women of God. We teach women how to make a positive impact in their own lives and their families through monthly tasks and meetings. And one of the great things about Godlywood as well is that we also learn to be giving, so we go out and help our communities. And one of the ways we do that in the UK through regular visits to elderly homes to pamper them and to keep them company. We also have regular events to help abused women, and we have many more plans to help our community. I ended up overcoming lots of insecurities and bad habits, and I've grown so much, and one of the things that I finally beat was the shyness that I had, and I'm doing things that I never ever imagined that I would be doing. And we have many more plans to help our community. So to summarise everything, Godlywood really changes lives, and I'm so privileged to be a part of it.
Welcome back, and we've been talking about working the room and the importance of achieving your goals no matter what. Now ladies, have you ever used networking at all to achieve your goals?
Well, I haven't personally, but I know somebody who has.
Tell us about it then.
And that'd be my hubby.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What, social networking?
Social networking.
Social networking.
Yeah. Because I mean, he saw me on Facebook and we started chatting via Facebook.
Really?
So, yeah. So that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
And today you're married for how long?
2 years now.
So imagine if he wasn't on that computer having a look on Facebook, he'd be missing out on all those 2 years of lovey-dovey moments, isn't
missing
it?
out big time.
Yeah. That's really nice. I like that. What about you, Mel?
Well, to be honest with you, when I wanted to start up my business, I did go to like some networking events, you know, because you always just kind of think that, okay, yeah, going round and kind of meeting different, you just never know who you're going to meet. Even though sometimes you do think, oh, I don't know if it's going to be worth my efforts, and I'll end up, you know, are these really people that can, you know, book my services? And you do, because you want to, especially when in the beginning of your business, you want to start making money. So you do kind of think, I don't want to be standing around talking to people and we've just got nothing that we can kind of connect with or do some kind of business, or they're getting stuff out of it.
They're seeping your ideas, they're seeping information, and then you stand there gasping, you know.
Can I take something home with me, please? But what Bev said was a good, she made a very good point, because when you have the attitude to kind of give, then it does actually come back to you, because when I started to, I've been to a few, and when I started to kind of think about how I can help people, what can I give? What do I have to give? Okay, I'm going to share my ideas and you know, things that have worked for me so far, attitudes that have worked for me. And when people kind of get that sense that you want to help them, then they're more eager to also do something for you. So sometimes I have had unexpected things happen where this person has referred, you know, somebody's come to me and been like, oh, I was referred to somebody that, you know, you must have been talking to. And then that ends up being a real blessing for me. So I think that it can work. And in terms of social networking, most definitely. I think it's always worth to try and from a business perspective, again, put yourself out there, because so many people, different people get to see your things, people share it. And I have had people that I've never met before that have been like maths teachers of, I had my brother's maths teacher order something from me because she saw it on his page. I've had like friends of friends who I've never seen who have, you know, ordered things and I've sent them to them, or who have booked things, you know, booked classes and things like that. So I definitely think it's worth doing, because you've got nothing to lose, really.
You know, as you guys are speaking, I'm going to go back to you. I'm going to come to you in a minute, Di. It's amazing how some people, because I know someone who puts everything on social networks. She's on LinkedIn, she's on Facebook, she has her products everywhere, but in life and one-to-one, she can't deal with those people. So she does get lots of people interested in her services, but in everyday life, she doesn't know how to communicate with people. She has to get someone else to do it for her because she's so, you know, closed and so shy. So
she's hidden behind the computer
she is
screen.
basically behind that computer screen, and she's placed herself everywhere, and she now can't cope with the actual people that are coming to her because she doesn't know how to deal with them on a one-to-one like this.
I guess that is a danger, isn't it?
That is a danger.
Because I don't know anybody like that in a professional capacity, but I do know people like that on social networks who I actually do know them, like I'm acquaintances with them, but I'm Facebook friends with them. And on Facebook, they are my very good friends. They like my pictures, they comment, they love everything I do. And then when I meet them, I'm like, hi, and before I say the hi, they've already gone. I'm like,
it's air, isn't it?
I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought we were
you didn't go wrong. You didn't go delete, right?
Yeah, and then there was one person that I did because I was so annoyed. No, 2 people I've done that with. I was so annoyed with them. I was like, what's the point of being my friend on Facebook when you see me in real life? This is the real me. This is me in the flesh. Do you know what I mean? Can you like communicate with me?
Antisocial people are those people who use social networking sites.
All the time, I think.
All the time.
Yeah,
I think
because they're always on there. They're always on it, isn't
so
it?
that becomes it's like their other.
It's a screen,
person.
isn't it? It's like a hidden screen.
It's a shield.
It's almost like their alter ego or something.
Yeah,
Is that?
that's what it is.
The Facebook me.
The
Do you know what I mean?
Facebook me, the person I want to be, but I can't be
in real life.
Oh my gosh,
it's kind of dangerous.
Very deep, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
What about you, Da? Have you actually used networking at all?
No, when you said you're going to come back to me, I'm like, I haven't got anything.
Don't come.
But listening to everything, you know, as I said to you guys before, I wanted to start a project, and this is really helping me. I'm seeping, you know. I'm taking so many things, and I'm going to use those things, you know, and I will do social network with regards to it because I can see.
It's like free advertising, free marketing. You might as well do it. Yeah.
But also, I have to say, you know, during the break, I was telling Melissa that, you know, I remember a few years ago, I used to religiously go to this networking meetings, you know, for business people, and I just felt she's laughing because she knows. I felt, you know, so you've got to be careful who you're networking with, where you're going to do it.
That's a good point.
You know, because some people are just coming to steal ideas, and then you know, you don't really get anything from them. You know, they want to know all about your ideas, because they come void of ideas themselves. Coming to sap, you know, what you've got, and then you live there feeling, you know, wow, I've just been empty.
You feel like you've been violated.
Exactly. Violated is the word, yeah. You feel violated.
Well, it's like what Bev said, network and net worth, and sometimes you're networking and your net worth is zero because you're networking with the wrong people.
Do you know, actually, before you guys give your tips, let's go right laughing fits. Before you guys give your tips to the viewers about networking, I want to find out what did you get from Bev? What stood out most from you from her talk with you?
For me, it was all about the ability to just give. You know, it's amazing.
It's lovely,
because
isn't it? Yeah.
it's rare. It's something that is so rare in this world.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to give anything free in this world. You know, there is a price on everything.
Yeah.
You know, and here we have this woman who's happy to give, and she was with us a few minutes, and I learned so much from her in just a few minutes.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
I am so inspired already.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
So that business of yours that you spoke about on an earlier program is going to flourish.
Well, she said something which I felt I could really connect with when she said, well, you know, for some people, you know, they go and they come a point where they think, okay, I'm going to stop here because I've not got the finances, I've not got this, I've not got, and they stop. But those who are successful, they've got this resilience to keep going and just pushing forward. And for me, I needed to hear that.
Yeah, that's a trait, that's a characteristic of a successful person.
Yeah.
You must develop. Nice.
Yeah. I liked everything she said. I was behind the scenes, by the way, but I liked everything she said, but what I did put my finger on was the do it or ditch it. Because you can talk yourself out of actually doing something, you know. And when she was saying, well, just don't do it then, and they said, well, no, but I have to do it, you know, it was like you're setting yourself up to fail. But when you actually have to question yourself, you're going to go out there and you're going to really get it done. So I want one of those dice.
Yeah, those dice was good.
That was a good idea. Very good idea.
Or just flip a coin, like she said.
Yeah, dice, there's more excitement.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Mel, what stood out for you?
I had to agree with Verena. I really did like everything that she said, especially about giving, because that was just something so unique. And you can see it's obviously served her well. But I really liked all the qualities that she was kind of, you know, associating with people who are successful. And that she had kind of identified in them from mentoring and stuff. So that was good, because as I kind of mentioned when she was on there, it did kind of make me evaluate myself and look at what qualities I do have and what qualities I'm lacking in. And that, you know, because some of the things that she said I could really identify with, and okay, yeah, sometimes I don't behave like that, or I do behave like that, and that's something that I need to change, you know, on my journey to success. So yeah, I felt like that was, as I said, a free bit of great mentoring for us all.
Definitely had
a
nice little mentoring session here.
Definitely.
All right, ladies, well, we're going to come to the conclusion of the show now. We only have a few minutes left. So very speedily, but very, you know, with a lot of impact, I just want to get your final tips for someone who is looking to network, looking to work the room, to achieve their goals. What tip would you give to them?
Well, for me, I would say, please do not go in there with nothing to give. Take a tip from Bev and go into any networking event with the ability to give, no matter how small it is. Go in with the ability to give. Yes, you're going to gain something, but the law of the universe will only work in your favor. When you give, you will receive.
Lovely. Mel?
I think another thing that Bev had actually mentioned was about her public speaking. And a good tip she gave was starting with small things that then your comfort zone kind of starts to widen. I thought that was a great piece of advice. And I would give that advice for networking. I think that if you've never done it before, and maybe it intimidates you and you feel a bit shy, then you don't have to kind of, you know, if you're at an event, you don't have to kind of force yourself to be going up to people and be, oh, hi, because then you kind of look like a weirdo. It's like you can see that you're not comfortable, people can tell you're not comfortable, but you're trying to force something, and then you end up acting not like your normal self, your usual self. So I would say just start with small people in the corner, small circles, and then work your way out as you get more comfortable.
Lovely. Beautiful. Di?
I think listening, for me, for somebody who's never done social networking before and wants to do a project, I think it would be really good for me to listen, not to sat everything, but to listen and learn, and you know, bring it to what I want in my achievements. To give a little as well, you know, if I've got something to give, because I'm learning. I would be like the novice, the new one, learning. So sometimes I might not have anything to give straight away. So listening.
But it's the ability, it's the mentality to go in there, you know, with the readiness to share.
That I agree. That I agree. But you know, for me, I would be listening.
Well, ladies, we've come to the end of the show. I want to thank you so much for coming. We'd like to thank Bev James for coming and blessing us today with her wonderful mentoring session. That was for free. And it's true, working the room, you have to have a certain amount of confidence to do that. However, you don't need to be mega confident. It is a step-by-step thing. Obviously, if you're trying to work the room or network, it's because you want to be someone, you want to get somewhere, you've got a goal. So do that step by step. And of course, you're going to face those uglies like doubts and fears about yourself, a bit of, you know, rejection and low self-esteem. They're going to come your way, but it's okay. You've got the capacity to bat them out of the way when you think about the bigger picture. That is you achieving your dream. So chuck the fear out of the way, chuck away the rejection, and go for what you want, step by step, one step at a time, and you're going to make it. Be a different kind of woman. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.